very much. Great interview and always fun to hear from Perkz. And we have his coach here with us, Joey Youngbuck Steltenpool. Welcome. Congrats on yet another win.
Thank you very much.
I always love listening to Perkz because he's one of those players that just new burst onto the scene, is doing really well, but is also really, really confident. How do you go about as a coach kind of managing and micromanaging that, and also maybe his personality?
Yeah, he's definitely an interesting character to coach. He's very talented and he's a little bit arrogant, but as long as he can back up his words, he can be as arrogant as he wants.
To that point, he has a lot of hype around him coming into the LCS. How have your experiences been with Perkz on molding him to the way you want the team to play? Has that at all been an issue?
It hasn't been an issue at all. I didn't expect him to be as good as he was coming into the split, but he surprised me in practice, and he can play a lot of different styles. And in the beginning of the split, we just showed one style, but now he's going to the Victor, the Lissandras, even Lulu. So I think he's really easy to coach, and he's also really easy to put on champions that might not be just good for him.
Yeah, I love that you bring that up. Obviously, it's not just Perkz, it's all the other members as well that have been showing strong play. But as you bring it up, he's transitioning to other styles as a team. Did you think that was a necessity? Because we have seen some issues with that go hard or go home style of G2 in the last couple of weeks.
I don't think the go hard, go home style is a weakness of ours, because all our fights are very calculated. We know that their fights are coming, and we just like to put a lot of pressure on the map and pressure on our opponents and try to force them to make mistakes instead of just having a very slow game like this game where nothing is really forced out of the opponent.
One thing, looking at Coaches Week as a whole, we've looked at is coaches that were players formerly. For yourself, when it comes to looking at vision control and these aspects of the game, do you think that's an advantage for you as a player previously to other coaches that maybe don't have the experience when it comes to talking about how you should move on the map?
I definitely think it's a pretty big advantage that I've been a pro player myself. And I think that teams that aren't really high in the ranking benefit a lot from having a former pro player. And I think the better teams have more benefits from a live coach. So when I got into this team, I thought I was going to teach them a lot because they're a very new team, and they actually really surprised me. So there isn't that much that I have to teach them, because a lot of their players know more than I do about the game. But because I was a pro player, I can still ask the right questions so they can improve from that.
Well, some very good insight to start off with. Of course, we'll have you with us for the next couple of games, so we'll get to hear more from you in that, because we're only one game in and just getting started. Up next, the Giants will take on Vitality as they look to avoid the spring promotion tournament. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.